Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, where today we are celebrating the spin-off of AUMOVIO from Continental AG. Today is the first day of trading of Continental. I would like to welcome all guests, all employees of AUMOVIO, all of Continental, and all interested viewers watching this live stream. Before we take a closer look at AUMOVIO, let me briefly give you some information about today's event schedule. In a few minutes, the management of AUMOVIO will arrive on the trading floor behind me, where we already can see the branding of AUMOVIO, and the event will then commence with the signing of our signing book. Afterwards, we will hear two speeches. First, a welcome speech by Thomas Bruck, member of the executive board of Deutsche Börse, responsible for trading and clearing, followed by the speech by Philipp von Hirschheid, chairman of the executive board AUMOVIO. We expect the first price for the shares of AUMOVIO shortly after 9 a.m. Frankfurt time. The price will then be announced by specialist Eric Hotz from Otto BHF. After the first price is announced, we will see the ringing of the historic stock exchange bell on the stage below the DAX chart. But before the official part of the event begins, let's take a closer look at the company going public here today. AUMOVIO is one of the largest electronic suppliers and technology leaders in the world, with a global footprint serving virtually all relevant OEMs globally, with a regionally diversified production, supply chain, and development setup. AUMOVIO has a comprehensive product portfolio and has more than 80% of sales with top 3 market position, for example, brakes, radar, or display solutions. The company had roughly 87,000 employees in the first half of 2025 and a forecasted sales of around 18 to 20 billion euros. And for all viewers who are not familiar with AUMOVIO, I have the pleasure to welcome here two guests with me this morning. First, Eva Appold, Head of Communications of AUMOVIO, and by designation, someone who can give us all the detailed information about the company starting to trade here today. And later I will be joined by Michael Sämann, the current Head of Investor Relations, to give us more insights. Eva, welcome to the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and thank you very much for joining me here this morning.
Good morning, Max, and thank you. We are really happy to celebrate this day here today with you at Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and it's an exciting day for us as the AUMOVIO team.
We're glad to have you. AUMOVIO will be a listed company in a couple of minutes. How do you feel?
Well, the spin-off represents more than just a strategic move. It's for us a moment and a commitment to focus, agility, and for the future of our employees, our partners, our customers. Our team has worked really hard in the last weeks to make this successfully and seamlessly happening, and therefore it's, as said, a very, very special day, and it has been quite right.
As you already said, a special day. What does it make so special? And can you give us more insights into your ride of the past 12 months?
So it was quite a journey. We started 13 months ago in August, 5th of August. We announced that we want to bring AUMOVIO to the stock exchange. Then we did a deep dive analysis, which was quite intensive. In December, the executive board decided that we would go for it. And then in April, the AGM in Hanover decided to go for the spin-off. Since then, we have worked really tirelessly in order to bring it forward. And as said, it was quite a heavy way. Therefore, for the whole management team, I would like to thank all our employees because they have worked so hard on it, for their engagement, for their resilience, and for what they have done to make this move possible. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. That was during time of uncertainty, and we still had a lot of obstacles we needed to overcome. And I think with the day today, we have been showing that we made it. Today, we will start something new, something really new with the name AUMOVIO. But it's more than just a name. It's a commitment we are giving.
And this new brand, what does it stand for?
You probably can imagine, as a head of communication, I've worked very hard with a big team on the brand. The brand stands for something strong, for energy, for innovation. The colors, which are very bright and maybe not very usual for our branch, they are symbolizing the energy and the innovation we are bringing. It reflects as well our deep roots in the automotive industry and our commitment there. As said, we want to drive the future of mobility, fast, flexible, and forward-thinking. AUMOVIO expresses our role as the adaptive powerhouse of future mobility, a brand that just doesn't respond, but which stands for change. During the last weeks, we have worked on a lot of things, and I think they are important for our teams. One really key thing is our DNA and the values we are standing for, and I want to name them briefly. We are ahead of the curve. We are reliable no matter what. We are stronger together, as we can see today, and we are committed to win. With AUMOVIO, we are not just promising something, we are keeping the promise. And we give the direction, identity to move forward.
A super interesting journey so far. Looking ahead, what will you focus on?
So we have a strategic roadmap in place. We want to continue our growth path. We want to create profitable value. And my personal task is to make AUMOVIO well known with my team. As said, they have worked very hard on that, and something I'm really proud. But it's not only one team, it's all the employees behind it, and together we are going to make, hopefully, AUMOVIO successful.
Eva, thank you very much for joining me this morning for these great insights. You will now be heading downstairs to join the event. Enjoy your time on the trading floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Max.
And we will now continue with our second guest, Michael Seemann, the current head of investor relations of AUMOVIO, on more specifics and technical aspects of this spin-off. Michael, welcome to the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and thank you very much for joining me here this morning.
Many thanks for having us today.
Let us dig a little bit into the investor perspective. How do you see today's milestone?
AUMOVIO is well positioned, has a highly motivated team in place, and therefore we feel very good prepared for all the challenges which lie ahead of us in the market. We will use the spin-off as a catalyst to capitalize on our strong foundation, what we have at AUMOVIO. And not to forget, we are one of the leaders in the automotive electronics business. Yeah? We have a top market positions in product areas where we work in. And coupled with the global reach and the local for local setup, we are very good prepared. And not to forget, we do have a very strong balance sheet, and therefore we can focus on executing on our strategy. Our independence allows us to sharpen our priorities, respond more effectively to market dynamics, and we are committed to transparency and shareholder engagement.
And looking into shareholder structure, how will the setup be, and what will it mean with your relationship to Continental AG?
With the listing of AUMOVIO, we will have exactly the same shareholder structure as Continental has. That means 46% of the shares will be held or are held by IHO Beteiligungs- and Verwaltungs GmbH, means the Scheffler family, and the remaining 54% is free float. And today, one of the largest holders of the free float is BlackRock, for example. Scheffler, by the way, and this is in the prospectus, has a 6-month period, lockup period. And looking, because you asked on the relationship to Continental, we are very thankful for the support of Continental during this process, during this project. However, today we will be fully independent. Yeah? There are a few areas, services, which will be provided by Continental to AUMOVIO for a certain period or limited period of time, mainly within IT.
You have mentioned the Scheffler family. I'm curious, are there any special guests here today on the trading floor?
Oh yes, we are very happy to welcome Mr. Georg Scheffler and also Mr. Rosenfeld as representatives of Scheffler, who are also part of the supervisory board of AUMOVIO. On top, we have the whole supervisory board of AUMOVIO, including the chairman, Mr. Stefan Buchner. But we are also not represented with AUMOVIO today, but are delighted to welcome executive board members of Continental, as well as special welcome to Professor Dr. Reitzle, the chairman of the supervisory board of Continental. But such a project, you can imagine, cannot be done only by ourselves. On top, we have invited various business partners, especially advisors, bankers, who helped us during this process and supported us really tremendously. And not to forget, colleagues from AUMOVIO as well from Continental.
That's a very impressive guest list, and we see the trading floor behind us already filled with many guests. We've been talking a lot about that this is a spin-off today. Could you please explain in more details how the spin-off works and how the new shares are created?
Mm-hmm. A spin-off is a legal separation of the automotive sector from the Continental and creating a new company with an own independence and with an own management and with an own board. In a spin-off, technically, the shareholders of the parent company usually gets, according to their existing ownership, automatically shares from AUMOVIO. This is so-called a split ratio or allocation ratio. In our case, for 2 Continental shares, you will get one AUMOVIO share automatically. So there's nothing which you need to do proactively from your side. This is a common process. These AUMOVIO shares will be usually credited in the next couple of days. It should be latest by September 22nd, depending a little bit on the depository bank. And by the way, as of today, so the first trading day of AUMOVIO, everybody can buy AUMOVIO shares normally on the stock market.
And how many shares will be available?
We are talking about roughly 100 million shares. So Continental has roughly 200 million. And if you then apply the 2-to-1 ratio, 100 million AUMOVIO shares.
And also a very interesting information for probably everyone here today is the initial share price of AUMOVIO. And how is the first price determined today on the first day of trading?
Mm-hmm. On a day of stock market listing, the initial price for AUMOVIO share is determined as part of the regular opening auction on Xetra, the electronic trading platform here on the Frankfurter Stock Exchange. This is where buy and sell orders from the market participants are matched. And the initial stock market price is though determined solely based on supply and demand, transparent and market driven.
And today we will not only trade the new AUMOVIO shares for the first time, we'll also trade the Continental shares in a new setup. What effect will the spin-off have on the share price of Continental?
Exactly. Technically, the price of Continental AG shares will be quoted ex-spin-off. The market value of each Continental share is then expected to adjust and to reflect the impact of the spin-off. Normal procedure.
And last question. In which segment will the new company be listed today here? And what do you think are the chances of AUMOVIO to be included in an index in the future?
Mm-hmm. The shares of AUMOVIO are expected to be listed in the regulated market, so the prime standard segment of the Frankfurter Stock Exchange. Technically, the DAX will have 41 members today, as AUMOVIO is a spin-off of Continental, and Continental is part of the DAX. And a future index inclusion in AUMOVIO will depend on market capitalization.
Thank you very much for these insights. Thank you for joining me this morning, and enjoy the event downstairs. Thank you very much.
All eyes are on Frankfurt today as another new listing on Deutsche Börse is set to raise big capital.
Working towards this moment is one thing, but for senior management to be here today is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This moment truly elevates the company's visibility in global capital markets.
Welcome to Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Welcome to Deutsche Börse's trading floor in Frankfurt. Today we gather to celebrate a truly special occasion, the listing of AUMOVIO. Let me briefly outline today's agenda. First, Deutsche Börse's guest book will be signed by the AUMOVIO Executive Board. This will be followed by the welcome address of our Executive Board member, Dr. Thomas Boag, responsible for trading and clearing. Afterwards, a short film will take us inside AUMOVIO and their story. We will then hear from Philipp von Hirschheydt, Chairman of the Executive Board of AUMOVIO. At around 9 a.m., we expect the first prize on Zitra, which will be called out by Odo BHF specialist Eric Hotz. And finally, the highlight of the day, the world-famous exchange bell ringing. For now, let me extend our very best wishes. Please enjoy this very unique moment.
I'm von Linsingen from Deutsche Börse with some short words to start the event. And now we see the signing of our signing book. This was Philipp von Hirschheydt, the chairman of the executive board. And now we have here signing Ingo Holstein, the chief human resources officer of AUMOVIO. All companies celebrating a bell ringing here can make an entry into this book. Always a nice occasion to commemorate this event. And now we have Jean-François Tarabia, member of the executive board responsible for business area architecture and networking solutions. He's followed by Ismail Dagli, responsible for the business area autonomous mobility. And then we have Boris Mergel, responsible for the business area safety and motion. And now we will continue with the speeches. First speaker will be Thomas Boag, member of the executive board of Deutsche Börse.
Good morning, everyone. Dear Philipp von Hirschheydt, dear State Secretary Kasbach, dear distinguished guests this morning, I welcome you all to the heart of the German capital market, here on the floor of our Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And let me give a special welcome to the team from AUMOVIO. There are many of you here. That is fantastic to have such a crowd, and also hi to everyone following us on the live stream. And let me also really welcome Mr. Schäffler, Professor Reitzle, and Mr. Buchner. It is a privilege that you join us this morning here on this occasion. Today marks a very special day for AUMOVIO, for Frankfurt, and for the German automotive industry. With today's IPO, a new automotive leader emerges in Germany. Today, AUMOVIO begins its journey as a public company. This is your day. Let us hear a little applause for all of you. And since you are an automotive supplier, we want to stay in the imagery. We, as Deutsche Börse, offer you a strong engine with a lot of horsepower to drive your growth and innovation. It is being listed in the public market. And for AUMOVIO, the capital market offers more than just capital. It offers independence and autonomy. Until yesterday, you are integrated part of a long-established industrial and engineering player in Germany of Continental, and now a new chapter starts. You can write your own story, define your own strategy, and AUMOVIO will need the freedom of a listed company to navigate a rapidly changing industry. You'll need freedom for quick decision-making and the freedom to drive innovation. And as a public company, now you can chart your own course. But let me also say, it comes with responsibilities that you will have to shoulder. You will be listed on our huge global liquidity network, and you will be facing the global investor base and their judgment. Now the market will measure every of your steps in numbers, in share price, and in trust. And Mr. von Hirschheydt, you said it on the Capital Markets Day, the automotive industry is transforming at the speed of light. Electrification, digitalization, and autonomous driving are reshaping the landscape at a breathtaking pace. Already today, around 60,000 driverless robo-taxi rides take place every single day worldwide. The future becomes reality. It is all about mobility and technology. It's a huge market in rapid transformation. And AUMOVIO is an innovation leader, bringing immense expertise to the table. You have defined your purpose to make mobility, we can read it here, safe, exciting, connected, and autonomous. You stand for software-defined mobility for sensors, braking systems, and driver assistance. So you will provide critical technologies to shape the mobility revolution to come. AUMOVIO is already 20 billion euro in revenue. It has the know-how of more than 90,000 employees and a global customer base. So you are a global player, and a global player with strong local roots, and you're really demonstrating leadership in a very challenging geopolitical landscape. And I know your roots are in Hanover, but a little local pride must be allowed here. We are very proud that AUMOVIO's headquarters are located in Frankfurt-Rödelheim, so just around the corner, so I hope you come by more often and visit us here on the stock exchange. And let me say, today's IPO contributes to the strong industrial and to the automotive heritage of the German capital market. You all know, in short, Germany has a good engineering DNA. And by the way, this is also true for us, for Deutsche Börse. And there is a fundamental belief that we deeply share with you. Being listed in the public market drives value creation. And now, as Europe is attracting increasing foreign investment, AUMOVIO's listing reinforces this positive momentum. Every strong IPO in a future-oriented sector is a strong message to founders, to employees and investors, and it is a testament to entrepreneurship, innovation, and value creation. And ultimately, every IPO in Germany drives real economic growth. It creates jobs. And you all know we need more IPOs in Germany, and this requires a stronger capital market. We as Deutsche Börse will continue to push for a strong capital market in this country. It includes moving to a capital-based pension system, creating tax incentives for retail investors for long-term equity investments, and it requires an equity market structure that strengthens public markets and a competitive regulation for listed companies. Dear Philipp von Hirschheydt, dear AUMOVIO team, today's listing is a sign of entrepreneurship. In just a few minutes, you will start your journey as a public company. Independence is a powerful asset, so use your opportunity. We are grateful that you choose us to be your motto, to speed up your journey, and I congratulate you and the entire team, all the advisors, on the achievement to make today's listing happen. I know it is a huge amount of work that is on the back of you, so now you can move on and hopefully celebrate today. And dear Mr. von Hirschheydt, your global experience with Continental AG over nearly 2 decades is a strong foundation to navigate AUMOVIO into a new chapter. I wish you, the entire AUMOVIO team, and all investors a successful start and sustainable growth going forward. The capital market is ready for your ambitions, and Frankfurt is the place where your journey begins. Congratulations, and before I hand over to you now, let us take a look at what AUMOVIO stands for. We have a strong, bright color. Let us see the brand. Let's lift the curtain for AUMOVIO. Thank you very much.
The world is changing at the speed of light, influencing mobility and transportation as well. In a world of 8 billion individuals, there is not just one future of mobility. There are many. For some, this may feel unsettling. For us, it is an opportunity. Our strength lies in our ability to lead, transform, and deliver. We are the adaptive powerhouse for future mobility, ready to meet whatever comes next. We are ahead of the curve. We are reliable, no matter what. We are stronger together, and we are committed to win. We stay ahead of change. We make mobility safe, exciting, connected, and autonomous. That's why we are inspired by future, driven by technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we ring the bell. And this is not just a routine. This is a moment, a milestone, a memory we will carry with us. Because when we ring the bell, we are not just starting a trading day. We are starting something new, something powerful, something with a name, AUMOVIO. A new company rooted in proud legacy, and as we deeply believe, rising towards a promising future. So today, I feel truly honored. Heartfelt thanks of my fellow board members and me go to the team at Deutsche Börse, one of the world's leading stock exchanges, as we just heard. And of course, I want to thank our own incredible team and a global force of 85,000 experts in automotive excellence. It took commitment, it took belief, it took resilience. You brought all of that and more. It's a special honor for me to speak here today in the name of all of you. At the very heart of our efforts were about 500 people, the ones who navigated the complexities of the spin-off, step by step, detail by detail. You led the way, and your work was nothing short of exceptional. I'm grateful so many of you are here today in Frankfurt, especially you, Professor Reitzle. As chairman of Continental, you have been a dedicated supporter and moreover, a passionate enabler of our spin-off. A warm welcome also to Mr. Scheffler, member of the supervisory board of Continental and anchor shareholder at Conti and also at AUMOVIO in the future. I'm also proud to see you here, Mr. Buchner, our chairman. Thanks for your relentless support over the last weeks and months. And of course, to all of you watching across the world, thank you for being part of this. Finally, I want to express my deepest respects for our colleagues at Continental. A spin-off like this could have been difficult, even divisive. But you choose another way and another path. Led by our CEO, my dear friend and colleague Nico Setzer, and my fellow board member Olaf Schick, you stood by us as partners. And you helped to turn a complex challenge into a shared success. Because now we are here. We made it. And will be officially listed in just a few moments. But before, let's pause for just a second. Let's reflect. Why do we ring a bell? In the age of digital everything, we could have pushed a button. We could flash a light, or maybe even launch a drone. But instead, we ring a bell. Why do we do so? One answer lies some 4,000 miles from here in Philadelphia, in a place called Independence Hall. There you will find a special kind of bell, the US Liberty Bell. It's not just metal, it's a message. Because when the Declaration of Independence was first read aloud to the people, it was that bell that rang out. Inscribed on its side are the words, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land and to all the inhabitants thereof." That was a turning point, a declaration of human dignity. No more kings, no more queens, justice for all. So when we ring the bell today, we don't just mark the beginning of business, we mark the beginning of a bold new chapter. And no, we are not reshaping the course of world history, but still, we too are here to declare independence. Because we've come a long way. We've transformed from a branch in a larger organization to a focused, standalone company. Smaller, sharper, but significantly faster. But our independence doesn't stop here. It lives in how we are organized. 4 powerful, focused business units, each led by accountable leadership, each close to its markets, especially in the US and China, each designed to meet local needs precisely and effectively. Today, AUMOVIO operates 56 production sites and 48 R&D centers around the world, summing up to a total of 20 billion sales. And already today, 80% of these sales are top sellers. They rank number 1, 2, or 3 in their respective markets. We are a valuable addition to the listing, as we are a leader in technology and electronics, a trusted partner to basically all OEMs worldwide, and we are positioned with strengths in markets, in innovation, and in resilience. So we are built for growth, ready for the future. In short, whatever success requires, AUMOVIO has it. We are here to make mobility safe, exciting, connected, and autonomous, all under one roof, all under one mission. And we ring the bell because we know what it takes to succeed. It's not just a good strategy. It's courage, it's commitment, and it's execution. And let's be clear, our markets are tough. Growth is uncertain. Geopolitics are shifting and technology is transforming faster than ever. So why are we still confident? Because we are not just a supplier. We are the driving force behind the software-defined vehicle. Not just building it, but helping to define what it will be. We understand the tech and we understand the supply chain. And we've built a global network of strong, reliable partners. But more than all that, we have people. We have a team. AUMOVIO now stands for high-performance culture, committed, focused, and ready to lead. That's why we say today is not the finish line, it's the starting line. We will keep moving, we will keep improving, and we will keep creating value every day, up to 8% in the long term. What sets us apart is not just what we do, but how we do it. Yes, we are headquartered in Germany, a country known for rules, rigor, and let's face it, red tape. But we are not here to be held back by bureaucracy, not from our government, not from the European Union, not from anyone else who doubts the power of free trade and fair markets. More importantly, we won't be held back by ourselves. We are done with unnecessary hesitation, with over-regulated internal processes, with the fear of risk. We are here to lead, not to be led. We are here to transform, not to be moved. We are here to deliver not just results, but real value. So to our team, to the board, to our partners and guests, to proclaim our independence, to affirm our purpose, driving the world of mobility forward, and to signal our unwavering focus on performance and execution, let's ring the bell today. Thank you all.
That was the speech by Philipp von Hirscheid, and now we are waiting for the first price of the shares of AUMOVIO. We can see here specialist Eric Hotz from Otto BHF, who is now awaiting for the system to determine the first price. And while we are waiting for the first price, maybe I can give you some information about the determination of the price here today. Currently, we are still in a phase called pre-trading, and the phase has already started at 7:30 this morning. So the order book of AUMOVIO is open. All market participants can place orders, modify their orders, or delete orders. Since 8:50, the opening auction has started for AUMOVIO. The order book is still open. The price should have been determined already at 9 a.m. Since it's not already here, we are in a so-called volatility interruption. That means it will take us about 2 minutes after 9 for the first price to be determined here on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And the price...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are right now in the auction. Just for your information, it can take a couple of minutes, so keep on talking, chat. Don't wait for us. We're coming back to you as soon as possible, and we are glad to welcome you from the Otto BHF Bank. So, hear you in a couple of minutes, latest.
That was Oliver Roth from Otto BHF, just giving the guests on the trading floor a short update that it will still take maybe a few minutes for the first price to be determined. Since the auction is still continuing. While the auction is running, the trading system is determining an indicative auction price according to the most executed principle, meaning the price will be determined that would currently have the highest volume executed with the smallest surplus on the buy or sell side. The information is disclosed to the market about the indicative auction price, the auction volume, and the auction surplus. Or should the order book not be crossed, meaning there would be no orders that would currently match, the best bid and ask limit, including volumes, is displayed. And we will now have to wait for the auction to conclude.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. First prize, AUMOVIO SE is 35. Congratulations to listing in Frankfurt.
So the first price of the shares of AUMOVIO were 35 euros. First to ring the bell was Philipp von Hirscheid, chairman of the executive board, and the second to ring was Stefan Buchner, chairman of the supervisory board of AUMOVIO. And now we have all the board members also on the stage that we have already seen at the signing of our signing book, taking some photos with our historic stock exchange bell. Usually a once-in-a-lifetime moment to be able to ring the stock exchange bell here on our trading floor.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Well done, the journey starts, and as a token for the future, we have a little bull, not the bear, for you. Hopefully it finds a nice spot on your desk, and I wish you a great party later on in Neuleim. Congratulations.
And we now see the gift. This is an exact replica of the bull and bear statues that you can find outside the stock exchange building here in downtown Frankfurt. And now the guests will make their way upstairs onto the balcony above the famous DAX chart for a photo. And while the guests make their way upstairs, some information about the share. The shares of AUMOVIO, as before mentioned by Michael Zellmann, will be listed in the Prime Standard, the highest transparency level of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. The German Wertpapier Kennnummer will be AUM0V1. And the ticker or trading symbol here for the Frankfurt Stock Exchange will be AMB0. So we can now see the guests entering our event area behind the DAX chart and making their way upstairs to the balcony. You can already see the first guests behind me arriving on that balcony for that group photo. One specialty today is also that the DAX index will compose 41 shares today. Because AUMOVIO is a spin-off from the DAX member Continental, the shares of AUMOVIO will be included in the DAX index for today to ensure the trackability of the index for investors. And now we can see the guests have arrived above the DAX chart. We also can see the DAX is starting on a very positive note today, up 0.93% now compared to yesterday's closing. So a positive start in the trading today. And you can see behind me the whole branding of AUMOVIO. The whole trading floor is branded in the company colors. And you can see the guests continuing to arrive for this shot. Maybe some details for the DAX again. At the closing of Xetra trading today, the AUMOVIO shares will then be taken out again out of the DAX index, and the Continental shares weighting will be adjusted then accordingly. And now we will wait for everybody to arrive for the big photo opportunity. And this is always a nice memory here for all the guests on the trading floor. As you can see, the trading floor is filled with many, many guests today. Some very nice pictures to conclude this event today. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the spin-off event of AUMOVIO. I would like to thank all viewers, all employees of AUMOVIO, of Continental, and all interested viewers for following this live stream. Thank you very much and have a great day. Goodbye.